Hey, it's Chef Jeff. I'm here in the content kitchen. This week I was feeling chicken stir fry, so let's whip up a simple and easy stir fry that we have lots of colors, lots of value. First, we're gonna start with our chicken, and the first thing we have to do is get it broken down a little bit smaller into strips. Got about a pound. We're then gonna add carrots, green onion, red pepper, onion to the stir fry. And we're gonna put that over this Bibigo cooked sticky rice. So this is a very simple rice you can pick up. I know it's in Costco. It's what we use in the house. It's easy. If you don't have a rice cooker, 90 seconds in the microwave with the little flap lifted up. Just really good product, very convenient and easy. Let's get started. Move this off to the side. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get this chicken cleaned up a bit. Now, what I like to do with something that's this large is break it down first into smaller pieces, especially that lobe tends to be really large. So we can cut that in half to make kind of 3 even pieces. What we're going to want to do is actually cut cross grain. Too many people cut with the grain and they wonder why the chicken is chewy. So even on some of these larger chicken breasts, if we turn them and cut across the grain, we will actually help prevent. It's kind of like beef. We won't have the chewiness because we're cutting across the grain and those muscle fibers aren't going to be all together. So we're just going to make some strips out of this. We're going to marinate it for about 10 minutes. So nothing too long. If you didn't want to marinate it, you wouldn't have to. You could just season it with some salt, some pepper. Very basic, simple. I'm gonna get this cut down. It's also great meal prep on Sundays for the week. You can get a bunch of chicken done, beef done, pork, really whatever protein you desire. Cook it all off and have it ready to go when you're making your meals. Make sure on the, let's see, it's going that way, so we wanna go this way. You could also go in cubes, whatever you fancy. I'm just going strips today. So that's gonna go into the mixing bowl. Take these gloves off. We're gonna do our marination with soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. We're gonna go with 1 teaspoon of oyster sauce. Most people probably don't have oyster sauce. That's okay. You don't have to use oyster. I just happen to have some. I'm going to go with 1 tablespoon of hoisin. My real cheat for doing the marinade is hoisin and soy, and we're going to do that in a minute. And just about a teaspoon of sesame oil. Also optional is ginger and garlic. It's going to add some depth of flavor to your marinade. Again, it's not necessary. You don't have to have that in the dish, but we have it here. Let's put it in. Again, going to give some rich depth, complexity. Let me move this cutting board out of here and clean off our knife. Okay. Let's grab our cutting board. Okay. Now, if you're at home, you can do your veggies beforehand so that we don't have to worry about the chicken, but we want to get this marinating, so I don't want to wait. So I've got 2 cloves of garlic. And again, I really like, you could just chop it up, mince it. I'm going to actually grate it in. It's really small and fine. One garlic. And when you're grating, you can actually leave the root end on, because you're just going to throw that away anyways. Okay. Those are those 2. Now ginger, a fun ingredient, really versatile. A lot of people I don't think grate it properly or clean it. Wooden spoon, or I'm sorry, a metal spoon. Get a metal spoon and all you have to do is actually just scrape the outside off and it'll come right off. Super easy and simple. And we don't need a ton. Probably kind of want to match the garlic. Get any of those bits that are left over. There we go. Okay. Get my board cleaned up. And we've got to massage our chicken. We want to get that marinade all over, in between all the pieces. So we're going to mix that up. This is for about a pound of chicken. So you can scale up, scale down, again, depending on how big your family is. Easily could feed 2 adults, a couple small children. If you got older children, probably need a little bit more. So there we go, simple marinade. We're gonna set this off to the side and work on our vegetables. I'm gonna start with this broccoli and I'm gonna steam it, AKA blanch it. You do it in a pot of water at home. And then I'm gonna shock it in the cold to stop it. That's one, it's gonna make it vibrant green, and 2, kind of par cook it. That way we don't have to worry about sauteing it near as long. So again, this step is optional. You could cut it really small florets and it'd work. But I'm gonna throw it into the steamer first. It's only gonna be in there maybe a minute or so and get pulled out and then chilled down. Gotta have onions in a stir fry. So let me pull these out. I already cleaned them, so we don't have to wait for that. And I'm gonna go with the ribs. And again, a little bit bigger. And again, I'm doing slices. You could do Asian style, which is down the middle and quarter it. Today, we're just gonna do larger slices. Red bell pepper, already washed. So how I like to clean my peppers, I like to take the tops, the bottoms. Okay, that's all edible product, really good stuff. And then if you get a nice square pepper, you can go down the sides and it takes all the ribs off. And basically all this is just garbage. So all the seeds are intact and I don't have to worry about my seeds everywhere, or you can go around it however you want to cut a pepper. That's just how I do it. So maybe for these guys, we will do more of a Asian style cut. Let's go 1-inch cubes. You can take the bottom, just with its natural contour. And the top, same thing, 4 pieces. So we got a nice amount of red pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and get that broccoli pulled. Again, it doesn't take a whole lot of time in a steamer, and get it blast chilled. See how vibrant and green that is. And we want to stop the process so it doesn't turn like dark, soggy brown. Vibrant colors. Kids like vibrant colors, so we want to keep it vibrant. Into the blast chiller we'll go. And that's going to get us back down to temperature, stop that cooking process, so when we saute it, we don't have to worry about overcooking our broccoli. So we've got onions, we've got peppers, we've got broccoli. Let's go carrot. I already cleaned, washed, and peeled. If you want to see how I do the peel with the plastic wrap, you can refer back to my first video to see how that is done. For our carrots, we're going to go half moon, paisan, at an angle. You know, people will think you're fancy. So all we're going to do is take our carrots, cut them down lengthwise, and we're going to go at an angle. And again, I'm going to go a little thinner, so that way they cook faster. Another item you could shock and blanch just so it's partially cooked and all it would need is a sear on it. We got small enough. Okay. And I want to add a little green onion now into the dish, and then we will also add some for garnish. Green onion just has a really good crisp flavor, brings it out a lot. Let's go like this. You could add whatever you have laying around. You can do bok choy, snap peas. There's a whole host of vegetables that you could put in this dish to make it what matches for you. There we go. These are all the greens. And then what we can do for our garnish, since we already have these, is we'll go super thin bias for garnish. Has a really good presentation to it, especially down towards the whites. And look at that. Really cool garnish presentation. Another really cool trick that I learned in restaurants, if you almost go straight. Now this one you got to be really careful with the knife being close to your fingers, but you have to almost, it's got to be razor thin and almost straight. And I'll show you. Super thin. Then what you can do is you can take this garnish and actually put it in ice cold water, and the leaves will curl up. So it gives it a really nice look on top of a dish, just some more height, some more presentation. So if you want to wow any guests, go ahead and do that. Okay, let's get the cutting board cleaned off. We've got all of that cut down. Let's check on our broccoli. Should be ready to break down into florets. Yep, so we've gotten this cooled down. This off the side. And I'm going to use really small florets. Another tip when you're blanching is you could actually just leave the whole head and dip it, keep it in the water that way, versus cutting into small pieces and you have all the little florets everywhere. And then you can actually just cut off all the little florets like this. They come off really easy, just like that. And then this you could use for soup, vegetable soup, great in broccoli and cheddar soup, so whatever it might be. And we'll break these broccoli down just a little bit smaller on some of them. So if you wanted to skip that step, you'd really want small pieces like this for the broccoli florets, so that way it sautés faster. These will almost just pull right apart. Don't you have to do a lot of work to them. Maybe on this guy. There we go. Okay. Get this board cleaned up. We've got broccoli, carrots, onion, red pepper, and green onion for this dish. It's gonna cook up really nice. It's gonna get sauteed. We're gonna do the chicken first, so that way it is done and out of the way and set to the side. Then we'll saute up these veggies. So I believe it's been about 10 minutes. Let's get that chicken cooking. All right, here we have our chicken that's been marinating. It smells so good. And we're gonna put that right into our saute pan. So I got a saute pan on medium-ish heat, medium-high, about 315, 320. Going with a little oil. Don't need a whole lot. We got our marinade in there. Okay. Whatever oil works for you. High smoke point oil. I'm using avocado oil today. And we will put the chicken right in. Yeah. Make sure the bottom of the pan is evenly coated. Now this step's gonna take probably 4 to 5 minutes to get this chicken cooked. And what we really wanna do is just let it sit. Let it cook, let it do a thing. It will pull off the pan naturally. So we're gonna let that cook down. Flip all these pieces and look at the color on that. Color is flavor. That's what I tell everyone. Color is flavor. Do not be afraid of some brown, even darker colors on your food. That's where all the magic is. Chicken is almost done. Again, it takes about 4 to 5 minutes probably, depending on how thick you cut the chicken. It's also gonna have some rest time just sitting while we cook up the vegetables. You can always cut into a larger piece, take a peek inside and see if chicken's done. Swap out tongs for our finished product and our vegetables. Okay, let's get our chicken pulled out. Now don't worry about all this brown on the bottom of the pan. That's good stuff. It's called fond. That is also flavor that is imparted. So we want to kind of pick some of that up with the vegetables. I'm going to start with our peppers first. So a harder vegetable. It's going to take maybe a little bit longer to cook. Forgot to add my oil in. Add a little bit more oil into the pan. There we go. So we're going to let that cook for a couple minutes just to kind of soften up. And my goal with the stir fry is not to have super soft vegetables. I want them to have a little bit of bite, a little bit of crunch. It gives texture to the dish. If you like your softer, go for it. Cook it down a little bit more. But I do like to have a little bite to my vegetables when I'm cooking them. Go ahead and add the carrot as well. That's going to take a little bit to cook. And what's going to happen is natural moisture is going to be released from the vegetables, which will help pull up all that flavor from the pan and also soak up into the veg. You could also use some chicken stock to help bring up some of that fond. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of water. What that's going to do is steam. You can see all of that fond up. Comes right off the bottom. It's going to evaporate, but all that, you see the vegetables are getting coated really nice. We will go ahead and add our onion in. And our broccoli. And I think what I want to do to have a little bit more sauce flavor, again, I use it as a cheat where it's soy, 1 to 2 parts soy and hoisin. Super cheat at home if you don't have a stir fry sauce. You can use a pre-made sauce. But a lot of times I'll just keep the raw ingredients, so soy and hoisin, and that's my stir fry sauce because it's very easy, simple to do, and I don't have to keep a lot of ingredients on hand. You can also add cornstarch to thicken it up if you want a thicker sauce. Makes like a slurry, but this works for me. I don't want a whole lot of sauce. Enough to coat everything. If we look at the bottom of the pan, a lot of that, all that's come up from all those vegetables, and a little bit of water just help release them from the pan. Vegetables been cooking for a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and add our chicken back in, get that flavor. for our green onions. Don't want to forget those. Those won't take long to cook. Then what I'm going to do is kill the heat and add our sauce onto everything. Just a little bit more flavor. And give it another toss. Just be careful not to get on you like I just did. I'm always making a mess in the kitchen. Okay, so that's going to simmer on itself with the residual heat. We have one final component. The last thing you're going to want to do is your rice. So we'll get, as this is basically just kind of sitting there, we're going to go throw this into the microwave 90 seconds, and it'll be done, and we'll get plated up. Our rice is finished up in the microwave. It's as simple as that. All I have to do is peel it open. Be careful, it is hot. And our rice is ready to go. We can go in a bowl. I'm going to put this on a plate. So all you have to do is basically just put it upside down. It comes out in a nice little square circle. And we're going to take our mixture here. We're just going to go right over the top. A little bit more chicken on there. Yeah. And for our garnish, our green onion right there on the top. I like sesame seeds. Just gives another layer. Some sesame seeds right over it, all over. And there we have it, chicken stir fry over our Bibigo rice that was done in the microwave, 90 seconds. Some sauteed chicken, set off to the side, sauteed our vegetables, threw it all together, top with a little green onion, little sesame seeds. Looks delicious. I gotta take a bite of this chicken, see how it turned out. So good. And ginger flavor is there. And garlic comes through. Piece of broccoli. I love about broccoli is the heads will absorb that liquid and really bring out a burst of flavor. So if you eat them all together. There we have it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If there's something you want to see, please shoot me a note. Happy to cook for you. And until next time, we'll catch you on the sunny side.